What is up, ladies and gentlemen? CJ the Cheese DJ here, and we are back with another Dino build. And today, as you guys can tell, we are taking a look at the Trikes today. Now, these guys are really useful in terms of receiving their new TLC buff. They've become a lot more powerful than they were previously. So, let's get into it and take a look at some of the builds we've got for them, as well as their abilities. So first off, their abilities. Now, since the TLC, they've received the ability to pretty much, I think it's called Trample or something, where you can see that they've got a rage meter on the right side. Charge that up fully, and you can go around just ramming anything and everything. You can see there, that poor Carbonemus just took a bloody damage to the face, and it actually cripples them. So you saw that little yellow thing along his face. That pretty much means that he's crippled and he can't move very fast for a lot of time. Now, obviously, the more you power it up, the faster and further you'll go. Now, this is also great for clearing through trees and grabbing a crap ton of thatch as well, might I add. So that is one of their abilities as well. Now, another ability that they received in the TLC buff is the ability to pretty much enrage themselves when they come into contact with large carnivores, where they actually they deal extra damage and they take reduced damage from carnivores. They get that red aura around them. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've played Ark. So, yeah, that's that. But that is pretty much all their abilities as far as I'm aware. Oh, and they also take reduced damage from their faceplate as well, which you guys will be seeing shortly in the video. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's get into some of the builds for the Trikes. Alrighty, so the first build that we're going to showcase to you guys is the Transport/Gathering build. Now, Trikes have a decent amount of base weight on themselves. You can see here, this guy here has 576 weight on him. That is a pretty solid amount of weight. Now, you can use these guys to transport across map as well. Do take into mind that it is probably a little bit slower than some of your other options. However, as in terms of starting off and, having like your first mount, the Trike is definitely one of the good options to start with because, like I said, it's got the trample attack where you can just power through anything in your way, except for rocks. I don't think you can break through rocks. Now, as well as that, it also provides the Trike with a little bit of extra movement speed, as you guys saw, and you can easily cripple dinos and then just run away from them. You can see there that poor turtle's not going to be able to catch up to us. But as well as that, he's also able to gather pretty much large amounts of berries and stuff. However, with this build, you will want to pump up a few select things. So pretty much you're going to want to pump up melee damage because melee damage determines how much these guys are going to gather. Now, if you pump it up to an extreme amount, go for it. It's whatever you want to do. But I definitely recommend pumping some points into weight as well for this because then you can definitely use that transport of goods kind of role and transport between bases if you so choose to, or between, moving yourself to a new location. If you so choose to and you don't want to pump your melee damage so high, you can definitely put some points into movement speed as well, just to bump up the movement speed of the Trike a little bit more than it already is. But that's a great way to go about doing it. But you don't have to, like I said. But you can see here, we're now able to grab a crap ton more thatch and wood because we've pumped up our our melee damage, sorry. So yeah, you've got that option. Now, the next option, obviously, is because you're going to be able to gather a lot more berries now that you've pumped up your movement speed. But as well as that, any potential victims or predators that come into your area, you can fell. I don't know why these Therizinosaurus are spawning in at level 1. But you can see there, that Therizinosaurus didn't stand a chance against us. And with such high melee damage, you won't actually need to worry about pumping the Trike's health up, because you can essentially deal that knockback, which prevents them from attacking you. So it's a great way to avoid big conflicts and whatnot. Now, you can see that we've run out of stamina. That's entirely optional, up to you whether or not you want to pump stamina up. But you can see, look at all the resources we have in terms of wood and thatch. It's great. So that is pretty much the first build on this list. There's not really any other uses for this build other than to transport goods and to gather the goods. So yeah, let's move on to the next build. Alrighty, so this next build is pretty much the Battle Mount/Guardian build. Trikes, as you guys know, are pretty easy first tames to get. You just trank them in the side, run around them in circles, and you'll be A-okay. So they are a pretty good first tame to get. Now, why are our turrets shooting it? Okay, poor monkey. Yeah, like I was saying, these guys are good at first mount, so you can easily pump up their health, whatever the heck you want to fulfill, whatever role you need. For this particular role, you're going to want to focus on health and melee damage, because these guys can pretty much just turn into big-ass damage-dealing dudes. Especially when you want to take on alphas and whatnot, you can easily deal the knockback to them and prevent yourself from taking minimal damage. You won't take much damage because of the Trike's ability to knock back enemies. It's a great way to go about it. You know, I personally would go as high as 10k health and then dump the rest into melee damage if you so choose to, but it's entirely up to you guys. If you get a pack of, you know, 3 trikes even, and you level them up like this, you will be unstoppable when it comes to trying to kill stuff. Only thing that'll probably stop you is Giganotosauruses. They are probably the only things that'll put up a fight. You know, obviously they're wild ones and you've got to be very careful of them, but everything else will pretty much die with relative ease, you know. Imagine 3 trikes hitting for 160. Imagine 3 trikes charging at you and dealing that cripple damage. It's great, you know, and then they've got the extra health to deal with anything. And then if you have to deal with the large carnivores, such as the Rexes, or, you know, the Carnos, the Allosauruses, they'll get that extra buff that deals extra damage, as well as the reduced damage. It's a great way to take out pretty much anything on the map of Ark. And as well as that, if you are, you know, first starting out on Ark, they don't have to be max level, but if you've got like a couple of level 20s, a couple of level 50s, they'll easily be able to contend with anything that decides to try and attack you. You know, Allosauruses, Carnos, Raptors, even Rexes. I've managed to fell high level Rexes myself with like a level 20 trike because of the knockback ability that the trike has. So yeah, you know, there's not really much else to say for this build other than level up melee damage and movement speed. Not movement speed, sorry. Melee damage and health. These bloody double M stats get me confused sometimes. So yeah, it's a great way to go about just providing extra damage to yourself and protection to yourself. Alrighty, now we're going to get into the final build, the one that everyone's been waiting for. Alrighty, now this last build finally is the Turret Soaker build. The PvP Turret Soaker. As you guys all know, trikes have the ability to take reduced damage from bullets, or anything, actually any projectiles to their face. They take reduced damage. Now, what this build requires is you to pump entirely all your points into health. You can choose to pump a few points into stamina. Me, myself, I would probably waste 2 or 3 points in stamina itself, just to ensure that you don't run out of stamina. And if you do plan on charging at a base, you know, you don't run out of stamina while doing the charge. There you go. You can see there, this trike is now at 15k health. Let's watch this. Let's show you guys. So once you've pumped it entirely into health, or, you know, you don't even need to have all 73 points to pump into its health. You know, even if you have like 20 points into health at the time being and then decide to go tank a base, you'll easily be able to tank it because they take the reduced damage. Now, having the added ability of a stronger saddle will also help, obviously. So just to showcase to you guys that we didn't actually keep infinite stats on this guy, you can see he's taken damage. He hasn't taken damage. Did he take damage? Let's hit him again. Okay, yeah, you can see that he's taken damage. So we'll showcase to you guys. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to set him on to passive. And then we're going to unclaim him. And what will happen is the actual turrets that we've set up just there will start firing at our dear old trike. Alright, he's on passive. That's fine. Options. Let's go on unclaiming. And you'll see just how much of a good soaker he is. Okay, he's taken 38 damage there from the heavy. That's right, because he's taken 4 times 9. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's just make sure. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. Alright, so yeah, we're going to unclaim him again, and you guys will see just how much damage he's going to take. The only reason he's taken 38 damage is because the heavy turret fires 4 at a time. But look at that. This guy is a beast of a soaker now. Now, you do have to be careful if the turrets are higher than a specific limit, because they will be able to fire upon the rider itself. But if you are riding a trike, you can actually soak, even if it's set to players only, because the trike itself will protect you with its crest. But you can already see here we've drained the heavy turret, and I think there was about 300, 400 bullets in this heavy turret. And this auto turret itself looks like it's running out of bullets as well. So this guy is a great way to soak the bullets out of a turret from enemy bases. It's great. You know, you can easily soak tech turrets as well. Here we go. Let's put our 840 bullets into this heavy turret. And watch this bad boy fire away. Look at that. This trike is powering it like a beast. Now, like I said, if you also have a stronger saddle, it will reduce the damage even more so. I've seen turrets deal 3 damage to a trike with like a journeyman saddle. It's great. Now, as well as that, if you've imprinted on the trike and you've got a breeding line going with these trikes as well, that'll even more so decrease the amount of damage that the trike does. It's a great build, and I would definitely invest in a line of health trikes for yourself to go around raiding bases, because they can soak bullets like no tomorrow. You know, you bring some sweet veggie cakes as well, and you can easily replenish these guys' health as well. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all the builds for the trike. Can we body block some of these bullets? No, we can't. So yeah, guys, that'll conclude today's video. Let me know what you thought of the builds down below. We're just going to let this turret just drain from the trikes. So yeah, guys, like I said, that'll conclude today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Any other builds you guys can think of, let me know down below in the comments. Any other dinos you guys would like to see for the builds, let me know as well down below. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.